All right, so the president wants $20 billion from Rupert Murdoch, Dow Jones, and the Wall Street Journal after the Journal alleged the existence of this birthday card from Trump to Epstein from way back in 2003, which their reporters, who are pretty anti-Trump reporters, by the way, have seen, they say, but will not prove exists. They won't show us a picture. They won't give us anything else other than saying, we saw it, and here's a description of it. The card is reportedly, they say, a drawing of a naked woman by Trump with some bizarre texts written of an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein. Again, this was from 22 years ago. Alejandro Brito is the president's lead attorney in this $20 billion lawsuit. He joins us now, and sir, it's good to have you on. The Journal took a really big swing here. And as somebody, I came up through all of these different networks. I'm shocked that they took such a big swing when they couldn't show us any proof, no pictures or anything like that. We're just supposed to trust that these reporters saw this and that they weren't duped by somebody that hates the president themselves. What are your thoughts on what they did here as far as the journalistic integrity of it?
You know, Rob, that's a great point to lead into, because in advance of the article being published, they reached out to the president and advised him that they were going to be reporting about this artificial or disingenuous letter that they claim exists. Never provided an opportunity for the president to see what they were referring to, because it doesn't exist. There is no veracity to their story. We explained to them that this was not a genuine letter, that there was no truth behind the story, that this was something that the president had authored. And keep in mind, this, as you noted, dates back to 2003. And now, obviously, there's a reason why it's being published now, and the timing is intentional. And there's really a lot of bad faith from our perspective as to when it was released and how this story was run, because we tried to communicate to them, and despite our efforts, they went ahead and published this article, which we believe is a defamatory statement. It's libelous, and it's conduct that evidences the bad faith in which they traveled with.
Yeah, I've thought about this story all last week. It looks to me like, you know, the president, I mean, obviously, Jeffrey Epstein was removed from Mar-a-Lago, was actually thrown out of the club. And it seems like they started seeing more and more evidence that this guy was a creep right around probably 2004. And that was about the end of the relationship with the president. I think when he saw it, I think when everybody saw what Epstein really was, that a lot of people moved away from him. And I think that's what we're going to see here. What we're going to find out was the real story here of this friendship that the media is so obsessed with that they think implicates the president as some kind of a pervert. But the funny thing is, even Trump's greatest enemies, Michael Cohen, of all people, did not buy this allegation from the Wall Street Journal. Take a listen to this.
I've never, not once, and again, over 13 years of being by the man's side, I have never once seen him doodle. I never saw him draw a picture. In fact, I would be very shocked if Donald Trump actually can doodle. It's just not his thing. And the language, using words like enigma, that's not a Donald Trump word. I mean, he certainly knows what the word is, but it's not a word that he uses. I found the whole thing just to be odd.
That's a crazy soundbite from a man that hates the president more than probably anybody in the world. But for you guys to file a suit here, there's a lot of the president must, I would assume, would feel confident that he's right, because there's a liability for him if he's wrong. If this actually was his letter, wouldn't there be a problem there?
The president is absolutely confident that this is not his letter. As you noted, not only his foes, but his family members, his friends have provided consistent statements with what we heard Mr. Cohen state. Yeah. This is not characteristic of what the president did. It's not characteristic of how he communicates. It's simply not something the president did. And he's very confident about that, and is confident about the filing of this lawsuit, because there's a malicious intent behind publishing a story such as this, making allusions to this card, and not having even had the decency to communicate with him. Even after we reached out to them, they alluded to the fact that they would address this problem. And despite making such statements to him and to the administration, they published the article and went ahead with this false, defamatory, really, really harmful story that, as we noted in our lawsuit, has now been disseminated to hundreds of millions of people, and it's been rebroadcast, republished. It's really a political attack on him. It's a personal attack on him. It's extremely damaging. 20
billion indicates that for certain, and they've just pulled the Wall Street Journal from the travel pool for the trip to Scotland this coming weekend. So there's going to be interesting to see how this goes down. That's a big lawsuit. Alejandro Brito, the president's attorney on this suit. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmidt tonight on Newsmax.